And happy Tuesday night to you folks. It is me, Gene, with the TPO Doc Talk podcast. We got an awesome show for you tonight. I'm just getting an information here that there is trouble streaming to one of our Facebook accounts. And I can't tell. Let's see, it's our Heroes on the Media group. Might not be streaming there. So we do apologize. Hopefully people are catching this on some of the other channels there. I don't know why this StreamYard decided to do this. Because it's StreamYard, that's why. Any rate, hey man, happy Tuesday. We got, lots of spring weather bouncing around, right? Loving that a lot. We're seeing soft water. Ice is going away. Very happy. The wind is blowing like something that resides on Colfax Avenue in Denver. I'll tell you that. The wind has been nuts. It's been crazy out there. And I was really starting to think that, man, I need to check the shingles on the house because it was just sustained. Last night it did it. Today it did it. It's been like Chinook level, gusting 40, 50, maybe more. It's pretty crazy. I'm sitting patiently by watching my neighborhood Facebook page, waiting to see all the people going, hey, have you seen my trash can or anything else that might have been like my lawn chair that was on the porch got blown off? Because I have a feeling that is going to be a deal. That was pretty serious wind that we had here. Dude, real quick, as always, let's pay the bills here real quick. This show, along with every other show that we have, being brought to you, of course, by the Heroes Media Group. We are part of that network, proud member of the Heroes Media Group network. If you've not checked out the other nights, checked out the other podcasts, do so. Homefront Sit Rep, they've got a lot of good stuff. 6 at 6. There's all kinds of great shows. Go check them out. Go to heroesmediagroup.com. Check out that website. They do a fantastic job of laying out all the different podcasts that are a part of the Heroes Media Group, and gives you some background on the host, gives you background on the shows, and you can listen to the shows right there. You can see them, you can click them, you can go after them. And as always, TPO Doc Talk podcast, brought to you by the Romans Warrior Foundation. Hashtag helping is healing. Check out the Romans Warrior Foundation at romanswarriorfoundation.org. All the different divisions they have: Global War on Terror's Wall of Remembrance, of course, the Field Ops Division, which is our division. We have the Hoosiers with Hearts Disaster Relief Team, and of course, Stop 22, also the Label 22 company that is veteran singer-songwriters that are making music by veterans for veterans. Awesome group of those individuals. Man, it's the admin season, podcast season, if you will, for this, and I'm jonesing, right? But we've had a lot of cool things going on. Real quick on some updates. We're working with some collaboration with a couple organizations. We've got a new destination place that we're going to be looking to take the TPO up to. I'll tell you the name now. On this, it is the Bison Peak Lodge. It's about an hour and a half from the metro area, 2 hours from the airport. This place is amazing. Bison Peak at Puma Hills. And they've got a new website that's about to pop up. It's a lot more modern. It'll be able to show you the facilities. You want to talk about it, just an organization that lines up with the same mission and vision that we have. The differences of how we do it and what we do it with. We do it with outdoor excursions, with kayak fishing, camping, and hiking. They do it with their property, man. And I've had the chance, the honor and privilege to go meet one of the owners, John, and talk with a lot of their staff members and tour the entire facility and property. It is flat out gorgeous, dude. It is everything we want. It's everything we need, everything we're looking for. So we are going to be working with them on several levels, and who knows, maybe bigger levels down the line. We're not sure how that all works out yet. But the bottom line is we're going to be trying to take some events and head up there and go. There's Terrial Reservoir is real close, so we're going to run down the road, go fishing at Terrial, spend some time at the lodge, and just let Mother Nature do what she does, man, and hang out, have some good laughs. And burn up some steaks and drink back on a few of those barley pops, I'm sure. So yeah, we've got that rolling here. First big events are going to be coming up April range. We got a couple events. There is an event that's going on down in Missouri, man. This isn't TPO. This is Gene. Man, I'm itching. I got an itch. Like I'm telling you, I'm not even going to give you an analogy for that because nothing I'm going to say is going to be adult-like. whatsoever. But I'm telling you, I got the itch to get out there and fish, dog. And Lake of the Ozarks, you know my love for that area and the people down there. It's coming up on the 15th with the Moyak series going to be kicking off. Yeah, I might have to go there and see exactly how many honeydews I got to trade to the wife to convince her to let me make a quick run over there. I've already mapped out my location. I got some history on that lake, so we're gonna go all in. It's about a 5-mile milk run that I got that maybe I can do some damage with and take some of those suckers' money down there. But I love all those guys, but I definitely want to take their lunch money. That would definitely be the reason we're driving 12 hours to get there to get that done. It's a beautiful lake. It's a beautiful area down there. Moyak, you don't ask for a better run series. Josh Booth is tip of the spear when it comes to running events, and the anglers that fish that are off the charts. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. All right, we've done all that good stuff. Let's get the man in. He's been hanging in the green room here. I see he's back there, been enjoying our hors d'oeuvres and champagne, of course, that we left for him in the background. Because you know how we roll at TPO, man. It's just, we break out the best for the best. Let's bring him in here, none other than Mr. Steve Billington. What's happening, Brother Steve?
How's it going, man? I have to stack up on those hors d'oeuvres because it sounds like you're coming to take my money at Lake of the Ozarks.
Are you going to be there, man?
I'm going to be there.
Hell yeah.
I was going to donate it all to Chad Davison because he's the one who always takes my money, but if you're coming for some of it.
Dude, I know I've paid for a portion of Chad's anniversary. Right? I mean, I know if he takes his girlfriend somewhere that, yeah, dude, enjoy that steak. Yeah, enjoy that steak on us, pal.
That's right.
I love me some Chad Davison. He's a cool dude. He's been on the show several times, and yeah, I guess he knows how to fish or something. I mean, somewhere in there.
You remember you ever watched the Power Rangers when you were a kid?
Yeah.
You remember the White Ranger? He had like that whistle, and that dragon would just come to him. That's Chad with the fish. He just gets out there in that old town with that whistle, and they just come, man.
Oh, dude, I see an AI-generated sticker coming real soon.
That's right. Get him a White Ranger custom sticker made.
The White Ranger, Chad Davis. I love this. Only our generation will get it, but...
Yeah, I had to dig deep in my core memories for that one.
Right? That's awesome. Well, thanks for taking some time out, man, and joining us here. You've been doing this fishing gig yourself for quite a while here, and you are one busy cat, man. You've got your thumb in a lot of pies.
I'm getting busier by the day.
Yep. I love that map, by the way. And we'll get to this, of course, because it's the big one. But I love that map you're making about where your tags are being sent to, and I was like, yeah, that's right, Colorado, yeah.
Yeah, and you weren't the only one.
That's awesome.
Just like South Carolina, my buddy Andrew was like, "That's me," and I'm like, "You weren't even the first one."
That's awesome, man. That's so good to see him. Well, yeah, we'll get to that because that's the hot one. Let's start with, for some of our viewers that maybe aren't completely around the fishing scene completely, anybody that's tuning in, listening. What do we got here? Adam tuning in. Hope to see you at LOZ. Well, me too, brother. Yeah.
Adam's a hammer, too. Dude, he's a low-key hammer.
All those guys take my money. They always do. And I love it. That's the bad thing is that I don't mind. When you fish with quality dudes like that, it's like, hey, if I lose to that, I'm all right. You ain't
got to worry about me taking your money. I just
donate. You and I are just going to go scope out all the good places to eat, bro. I mean, that's what we're there for.
There's a Mexican place I can keep you away from. I'll tell you that. I don't know the name, but I know where it is.
Exactly. Brother Trey, speaking of hammers, what's up, buddy? Thanks for tuning in, man. We appreciate you. Trey's some good people. Yeah, I'll tell you, back from the boat days, there is one place that I absolutely, if I get into the Lake of the Ozarks area, I absolutely go to this place every time. Because normally, for a mini chain, I don't get into those, right? I like the more mom and pop stuff. But that Bandanas Barbecue in Osage Beach right there, bro, that is the chow. Oh my goodness.
I've never been there.
Ooh. All right.
I don't think I've ever even heard of it.
All right, if I can convince the wife to let me make a quick run down there, then dinner on me, brother.
All right, we're going to get something to eat. I like barbecue.
Yeah, me too. No, that's that place back in the boat days. That was like when I would drive down, pull my boat down there and fish at LOZ. it was always a destination. Had to hit it. And I love the people down there, man. They're so chill. Fishing's a part of life, so it's nothing big and wild. It's all just, man, it's run of the mill. It's all good. You don't feel weird, when you're running around.
And I haven't run into a lot of that. Like on a lot of those bigger lakes, you run into the bass guys, but like the bass boat guys versus like the kayak guys, you kind of get that weird interaction. I haven't had a whole lot of that down there. And I'll be honest, I kind of expected it just with the size of the lake and how big it is. But everybody down there is just kind of chill.
Yeah. Yep. No, I agree. The businesses, they're that way. They're awesome. Good stuff. So like I was saying, so talking for some of the folks that are new to the fishing scene that like to tune into our show here, whether they're listening or watching, the connection is for you and I is through the fishing industry, but then it was gravy on top when I found out also you, sir, are part of the warfighting family in this nation. You are a former law enforcement officer.
Correct. So my dad was a corrections officer, which is, kind of what got me into it. And I didn't do the patrol thing. Like I always say, those guys are the real heroes, the ones out doing patrol and dealing with the real nonsense on a daily basis. My background came from custody and a lot of fugitives and immigration. I traveled all over this country, taking illegals down to Nuevo Laredo or, just taking people on warrants back to the, various places that they come from, just all over the place. So it was an interesting run because I did that from the time I was 18 until 28 almost. So,
wow.
Yeah. Honestly, what got me out of all that, because I loved kicking doors and, just running all, like I would literally, I was such an irresponsible bachelor. I would just be sitting at home doing nothing. And then the next day I might be out in Colorado where you are, or in Florida or Seattle or who knows where, and go arrest somebody who's in my life for a whole, a couple days or an hour. And then I'm just back over somewhere else like it never happened, trying to get on Facebook and find girls or something, or what. And then my daughter came along. So up until 2.5 years ago, I was a single dad. Now I have a fiance and I don't do it on my own anymore, but she's just turned 13 on Saturday. And up until 2.5 years ago, I did it all on my own. So when she was a couple years old, I got out of law enforcement and all that stuff and went into custody and worked in the prisons. And I couldn't hack that, man. I can't do the prison thing. So I got out and went into retail and that didn't work out. Now I work for a hospital.
There you go.
We're chill.
So you're back to the service side though, at least, however you paint it, man, it's kind of born in you. When you get that desire to, contribute on a higher level, it's not just about a paycheck.
It's a weird calling, man. And it started out as just being like an adrenaline junkie. So I'm from New Jersey. I hate to admit it because I rarely meet people from New Jersey that I like. It's like that South Park episode where they find out that Kyle is from New Jersey because other New Jersey people come to South Park and it brings it out of him and his hair color changes and he goes crazy. That's really what it's like. That's kind of accurate. So I'm not a big fan of New Jersey, but that's where I grew up and not far from Atlantic City. And my first intro into anything kind of law enforcement was they took these two schools in Atlantic City that are next to each other and they converted them into Section 8 housing.
Oh, wow.
And it is just this bad, they called it schoolhouse. Lord only knows if it's even still there. It was bad. And there were shootings there every day and gang members. And I was 18. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I would go to work and people get in fights with each other and they get in fights with me and they'd call me all kinds of racist names and try to hit me. And then they would go to jail. And I'm like, this place is awesome. And so that's what started it. Started me down that path. But it's kind of like a calling, but it started out as just irresponsible adrenaline chasing craziness.
Yeah. No, early on in the beginning stages, law enforcement was a calling for myself as well. And that was, I'd love to say it was this, I had this, desire to serve my community. Dude, I wanted to, I watched enough cops. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew which side of it I wanted to be on. As a kid, I was not a good kid, so I was on the other side.
I wasn't either.
And it's like I knew it's like what's the best way to catch them is send somebody who thinks like them.
You're
You're
not wrong.
right? And that's what was originally for me. Also, though, it was kids and family that stopped that and moved me into different directions. Closest I tapped with any on the public service. I actually was with the Larimer County Dive Rescue Team, and served
Nice.
a couple years with those guys there. And those are guys I still consider my brothers. After the training and the calls and the 2:00 in the mornings with rain blowing sideways and sending divers into the water to pull a car out of a lake that someone fell asleep or had too many spirits and decided to drive off of. You grow quite a bond with each other when you're out in those kind of conditions, for sure.
Every year that goes by, I tell myself that I'm going to get like diving certified, even though my ears pop in a pool. Like I tell myself I'm going to get diving certified because I always had this vision that I would do exactly that, where I would go do like rescue dive. Like I just think that would be so cool and humbling and all that stuff, but I never end up getting certified. I don't know why. It just never quite happens. And at this point, I'm never going to be on like a rescue team or anything. I'm too fat.
For what it's worth, when I was on the Larimer County Dive Rescue Team, I was in college at the same time, had 2 kids at home, working a full-time job. Every time the Dive Rescue 1 class would come up, the requirements were too hefty for my schedule. So I couldn't get dive certified either. I couldn't get my public safety diver certification. So what I focused on heavily for the time being, because the plan was once I graduate college, then I'll have my schedule back open and I can actually open up, because it's quite a few weeks of classroom and then dive to get your PSD, public safety diver certification. And so what I focused on heavily was the shoreline. I became, basically driving towards master tender is what I was aiming for. And that the tender is basically who controls those divers and controls that search pattern, and is who basically is, the lifeline between, those divers and the shore. And so I love that responsibility. And we hit many targets, as myself being the tender out there and working with my divers, getting to know them, because each diver was a little different. Had a big guy, we called him Double D, Dave Dennis. If you're watching, and much love, brother. Huge dude, one of the older guys on the team, and he's like 6'5", 250, big dude, a little bit older. But I'll tell you what, when homie got to paddling with those fins in his dry suit, you better hold that line, because oh my gracious. Now he's 10, 15 minutes and done, right? I mean, that's it. But when he was out there, you needed to hold on, because Dave had some kick strength. Then we had a couple guys on the team that, had like gills cut into their necks, man. They were just part fish. It was amazing the work they could do. But yeah, well, that's awesome, man, that, the early stages, and it's law enforcement at any level. The immigration thing, man, that's another podcast we could sit down and chat, because you've got some interesting views on some of that stuff. We won't tap that this evening, I'm sure.
There's a lot of stories on the immigration side. Stuff that would like really just open people's eyes, like, because people, and we won't dive into it, but people just think that this is like some new thing, or it's this or that. They don't even understand what goes on a daily basis. Like the average person, if you told them that an illegal immigrant can get picked up for being illegal, held, and then post a bail bond and go out and wander around, they would think that that's insane. But it happens every day. It's happened that way for forever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's, the homeless situation. I refuse to call somebody, unhoused. Blow it. I have no time for that.
Is that a thing now?
Oh, yeah. I'm
so out of touch, man. I don't even watch the news.
Yeah, trust me. I live in Eastern California. You were talking about New Jersey. Colorado is my home. That's what I consider it to be, my home state. And I love it. I love many things that it has to offer. But I'll tell you, it is that drunk uncle at a family reunion. It's like, damn it, it's family. You got to love it. But, man, it sure does some embarrassing crap out there that you just wish it would stop.
I tell people I'm from Missouri.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah.
They know it's a lie. When you don't say Missouri, they're like, no, where are you really from? Nobody calls it Missouri.
So technically I was born in Minnesota, but I'm a transplant native of Colorado, just because that's like ointment suppository. You know, which way which way do you want it there?
You spent most of your life in a place. You're officially now from that place, which I guess makes me a Michigander, and which is still better in New Jersey.
Right? Right. I'll take any of them.
Yeah.
Love it. Good stuff. So let's move into the fishing side of things, man. You got Steve Billington Fishing.
That's my new channel.
How long have you been? Let's start with just competitive. Were you in the boat world first and then came over, or have you been kayak from day one?
So I've been kayak pretty much from day one, about 32 years now. My grandfather got me started in. I know I don't look that old, but I started.
Did they have kayaks back then?
I will tell you about my first kayak. I think it was ancient. My grandfather was a huge. I grew up on the ocean, obviously.
This is my boat.
Yeah, my grandfather was big into ocean fishing. He took me from the time I was a baby, and that's what got me into fishing. But he couldn't always take me, so I would go to the ponds and lakes or the beach. That's hey Marty, I love that guy. I'd go to the ponds and stuff around my house. Well, do you remember like when Walmart was where you bought kayaks, and they had I want to say it was Old Town. They had every Walmart had that red kayak that was like Old Town or it might have even been Coleman. I don't even know, but it's just a sit inside 10-foot piece of junk. So that thing sat outside my dad's garage, and we would occasionally go on these float trips and stuff. And then one day when I was like 9 years old, I just hooked it to the back of the four-wheeler and drug it through the woods to the lake and got in and went fishing. And I watch Marty's podcast where they talk about the history of kayak fishing. I had no idea this stuff was going on. It wasn't even on the map that maybe somebody's doing that. I just wanted to go fishing and not be on the bank. Yeah. So I drug that thing with the four-wheeler a bunch, and then my dad found out and made this little cart for it. But yeah, I started out on one of those going down to Fortescue Beach in New Jersey and going right out into the ocean. I can remember being on that thing at 12 years old with my buddies out, offshore in January in the snow, getting towed by stripers in jeans and jackets because we were dumb. And but that's how kayak fishing started. You asked about competitive. I didn't even fish for bass until 2023. That was the first year I ever targeted a bass. I, up until very recently, refused to accept myself as a bass angler. I was like, I will not be converted. I used to catch bass, and I would be like, oh, God, get out of here and shake it off. And then my buddy Christian ruined me because now all I chase is them stupid green and brown fish.
I was going to say, you mean this guy here, Christian Blaine?
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
He also commented a little bit on the age there, that you're ancient.
Anytime his wife gives him a hard time about spending stuff on kayak fishing, I just laugh a little bit. So we're even. Nice. His addiction is all my fault. That's
awesome. And that's the thing that I noticed, man, coming from the boat world, jumping into the kayak, was just what a community, right? It's an amazing group of people that you just have this immediate bond. There is a tribal connection that takes place the moment you see somebody else on the water in a kayak. It's like, I already know dude. I don't need to know name of dude. I just know dude, And that's and speaking of no dude, we got our man, Mr. Jason Ginger. What's up, Jason? He feels the same way about about the topics there as well.
I'm going to assume he feels the same about New Jersey. Everybody does.
Yeah. More than I'm sure.
You know why people in kayaks have an immediate connection? It's because getting in a boat is easy. Anybody can go catch bass out of a bass boat. The real men and women are in kayaks. This is hard. Do you know how uncomfortable I am, my fat self, in a float suit in the winter? We were out fishing last Saturday. I couldn't bend over to put a fish on the leaderboard without positional asphyxiation. So I got the thing in my lap, and I'm like this, trying to take pictures with my neck roll sticking out like this. Fishing in a kayak is hard, man. Anybody can fish from a boat.
Three Chins Fishing.
You know what? If I would have thought about it, I would have used that name. That's better than Steve Billington Fishing.
I am not too far removed from being right there with you, brother. It wasn't too long ago, and I still have vivid memories of this. But you're on a journey though when it comes to that. Though you're taking some action to get yourself, and you've had some progress there. Talk to us a little bit about that. Health, man, God. That's a huge deal when you get to our age.
Oh, it's getting to be more of a deal every day that goes by. So here, I'll tell you a funny story. So when I started this carnivore diet, my fiance is a nurse. Not a fan. She's
Right.
smarter than I am. So, okay, I get it. But I ignored it and went on my own path and started this carnivore diet. And I already had high cholesterol back in like July. It wasn't great. So we're engaged now. So we went to look at a wedding venue on Friday. And I had gone and got my lab work done and everything with the doctor. We leave this venue and the nurse calls me on the phone, and we're in the car, so it's just up on the speaker. I don't think anything of it. She gets on the phone and proceeds to tell me the doctor was completely in support of the carnivore diet, by the way,
Yep.
until my labs came back. So my cholesterol is like 260 something. The other one's like way high. My liver numbers are up. Like everything that could be bad on my labs is bad. And they want to put me on cholesterol meds. And this is all fine. I can just feel Kelly staring at me with just such glee that this is, and I'm staring straight ahead. I'm not even looking at her because I just know how much joy she's taken. And then she goes, and by the way, the doctor really thinks that you should stop the carnivore diet. Based on your numbers, he really doesn't think it's a good idea for you. And I was like, okay, thanks. And I hang up the phone. I just hear Steve, and I'm like, yeah. She goes, what'd the doctor say? And she's like baiting me, and she's like, did he say anything about the carnivore diet? And I was like, I'm not on the carnivore diet. She's like, you were? I was like, up until about 5 minutes ago, yeah. So now I'm off the carnivore diet. I'm on cholesterol medication, and man,
Crazy.
But I'm down 16 pounds, so I mean,
There you go.
take it for what it is.
Dude, it's I'll tell you, I don't like being told what to do, right? I have a real big problem with that. And you know who I hate being told what to do by is myself. I smoked cigarettes for 28 years and tried to quit several times. Now I'd always feel guilty, feel bad if I break it, this and this and this. It was when I finally relinquished the notion of I'm only going to do this and this is what I stopped putting pressure on myself and things chilled out. I told myself, you know what? Today, when I want a cigarette, I'm going to try, say, vape. I'm going to try something else in place of a cigarette. But here's the thing: if I want a cigarette, I'll have a freaking cigarette, and I'm not going to care about it. I'm going to have one if I want one. Just playing those stupid mind games. Next thing you know, I'm on 8 years now of no smokes. I am hypersensitive. Did you know lemonade tastes like lemon, dog? Bro, it's like very lemony, right?
So smoking messes up taste buds then. We know that.
It kills your taste buds. It kills your olfactory. It kills your sense of smell. And I had smoked since I was 15. So to me, man, growing up, it was like, lemon, I could taste a little lemon. But bro, the first lemonade I had after getting off of cigarettes completely, I'm like, wow, there is so much more to this.
Pucker your whole face on like, whoa.
Yeah, I all of a sudden started loving food because I could taste all these things, and sure as heck, I went from like 220 all the way up to 256. That was like, ooh, not good.
They say that happens when you quit smoking too. Everybody gains weight.
Yeah. The thing with the food thing is I don't go on any of the fad stuff. My journey of 30 some odd pounds that I've lost now has
Congrats.
not. Yeah, thanks, brother. Thanks. We're 222, 223 and still clicking down little bits.
Nice,
it's usually
man.
2 to 3 pounds a week is what I kind of plateaued about this 225 to 220 range because I think that's where my body wants to be. But I suppose I should probably do a jumping jack or a sit up or something, here and there, and maybe that would help.
Throw a little cardio at her.
Something, because I've not done any of that, right? And it's just been food intake. But my feeling is on it, to go to your point, was I'm not going to go on any of the fad crap. I'm just going to pay attention and read a bunch of labels and be real cautious about what I'm putting in, right? And that's what's helped. Refined sugars, that's the big one. Get rid of all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because my wake up wasn't cholesterol, it was blood sugar that tagged.
Mine's close.
Yeah.
They're calling me pre-diabetic, and they're like, it's teetering. And I haven't. I'll tell you what the carnivore did for me. It's like it took me out of the mindset of wanting the snacks and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I really have not had any snacks. I don't drink soda anyway. I changed my coffee habit. So, and honestly, you mentioned fat. That's what Kelly points out. like that I tend to do the fad diets. So I did the carnivore, and when my labs came back super bad, the first thing I said to her, and I can back anything with logic, was, do you think I should try vegan for 30 days? that was her reaction. And first of all, I think she's laughing because she knows I love meat, that she don't think I can do it. But I was like, well, if the problem is all this fat and everything, and we want to rapidly drop my levels, I guess I'll just only eat what the cows eat for a month, and that'll be okay. And I think sometimes she wants to slap me really hard and see if I'll reset, like the Nintendo when you used to blow in the cartridge or whatever. But she refrains. She doesn't beat me, but she really should. Sugar is my weakness too, Stacy. It really is.
You know, and when you find out where the sugar comes from, that's the crazy stuff. That journey there, man, has taken me on such a, I mean, I never knew that your body, the way it would handle like a slice of bread or crackers or whatever, it's the same hit as what sugar gives you, dude.
Might as well have a Reese's cup.
Yeah, it's when you look at how it comes at you. So yeah, for me, it's just I haven't cut out carbs. I haven't cut out anything. I don't count calories. I don't watch any of that mess. What I do is I intentionally try to sometimes, most of the time, I try to low to no carb on lunch or breakfast and lunch. I try to. Sometimes, though, you know what? If I want a egg sandwich, I'll have me a little egg sandwich. The difference is the bread I'm using is 100% whole wheat English muffin. So I change that up. Or I'll do 100% whole wheat wrap with eggs in it and bacon and, whatever else, just basically, and throwing some veggies where you can. I eat a crowd of veggies and fruits, but I do stay away from the bad fruits that can jerk with your sugar. Unfortunately, pineapple's on that list. Anything with anything that's a melon, that's not great. You're best with like anything that ends in the word berry. You're good. Strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. Those are good. They don't spike your blood sugar, so bad. And I'm a firm believer in the fact that it's that breakfast thing that gets you kicked off, dog. That's really what starts that motor for the day, and sets the tone. I've been doing
yogurt with like regular yogurt with like blueberry and strawberry. So like where I work, at least a couple days a week, I can eat moderately healthy because they just have it there for me, and I don't have to do a lot of thinking. But it sounds like what you're saying is that I should eat my pineapple on pizza only. Like on the days I'm already throwing it all in the wind, I might have my pineapple too.
Hell yeah. Yeah, if you're going to go, I do love pineapple. I'm one of those. That's right. Let's start that podcast. Pineapple on pizza is highly acceptable. What do we got here? Noah's saying Greek yogurt. Yes, it is. And I'll tell you, there's one out there that I've done a lot of research on to find out which one is the best option. And the one that I found is from Oikios, I think is the name of it. And it's called 000. The sweetener that they use in that is stevia. Normally, I'm not a stevia fan because it has a bitter taste to me. But in this yogurt, the 000 stuff, it actually isn't bad at all. So that is an all natural. It doesn't spike your sugars. You're complete. You can pretty much plow that stuff down all you want. You're pretty good there.
I'll have to look into that. So I know which brand you're talking about.
Yep, it's called 000. That's the one that. Of at least the ones I've seen, it's the best option. The ones that say no sugar usually have some sort of synthetic sweetener in it, and that's just as bad, if not maybe worse for you. So.
Yeah, you don't want this. I'd rather have natural if I'm going to eat sugar than like the synthetic. I have been. You know what? He gets real sensitive about chatterbaits in winter fishing.
Does he?
But yeah, he just swears it doesn't work. I promised him that because I was injured a lot of this winter. I had problems with my elbow, so I wasn't fishing. I promised him that next year, from like November to February, I will let him pick a couple of lakes, and I will go fish in 30-degree weather with that chatterbait all day long, and I will catch fish. Right. He's got a hang up about that.
Trey is he's a man of deep feelings. I've seen this.
What do they say about little kids now? They have big feelings.
Big feelings.
If a toddler's got big feelings, Trey has Hulk feelings.
Hulk feelings. That's right. We love Trey. We love Trey to death.
But yeah, you said you weren't counting calories. That's kind of what I need something. So I've been counting calories. So I'm using this Lose It app. I think is what it's called. It's what my fiance is using. And it tells you, what do you weigh, how aggressive do you want to be, and like where do you want your weight to end up, and kind of estimates where you'll be. So it wants me to eat like 2,000 calories a day, and it says I'll be at 215 in June. But then I went and I broke down, because that's not fast enough for me because I'm impatient. But I went and I broke down what my calorie intake was with my various like carnivore meals. I was only averaging about 1,300 calories a day, which is most of the reason I'm dropping the weight. So I'm keeping myself in that same range now. But like, I'm having the yogurt and fruit for breakfast. I'm having a salad for lunch. And then I'm going to eat whatever the hell I want for dinner. But yeah, I'm averaging about 1,300 to 1,500 calories a day. So June can kiss my rear. I'm going to be there before that.
There you go. Paige Yogurt is hands down the best. It is actually really good. The one thing I will say, because that's what I actually do, I get a big of the 2% of that stuff, and I'll throw just a little bit of honey on that just to kind of take off that feeling like I'm eating a spoonful of sour cream. You know, because that's pretty much what the no flavor, you know, the no, if you're looking for zero sugar, you know, find the no flavor one, and that's, honey is my killer, man. That is the bad boy that has replaced so much of all the other sugars, because your body knows what to do with that. Is get it raw, unfiltered, real honey, and it doesn't screw with you, dog. It's what I put in my coffee now. My wife bakes
just keep the
with
processed stuff out.
Yeah, get the processed crap out of your diet, and you will be amazed at what your body starts to do. Well, let's get back to fishing here, man. That's right. Yeah. Two big guys sitting there telling you how to get skinny. That's right. We need.
Yeah, clearly I know what to do. This is gonna be the place that loses it. I'm like, I lost like over 15 pounds. Can somebody tell my neck and my face? Also, why does it look so red? It's got to be the lighting. I think
it's on your monitor. Because
Probably.
I've seen your monitor change a couple times, and so it's just the way cameras grab. 2 scoops of protein powder. See, Trey's over here looking to bulk up. He's looking to jam it on.
Trey is I love that dude. He is one of the bougiest guys I know.
Right.
But if you like want to see some Gordon Ramsay level stuff, you just got to friend him on Facebook and just sit there and watch his nightly posts about what he's cooking at home. Because that dude will make you think that he is not using an air fryer. He could make you an entire Thanksgiving dinner in that air fryer, and I don't think you would know it.
That's awesome.
He's a pro.
Yeah, he has been putting some chef level stuff up there on his content for sure. I'm always looking at that, going, "Look at homie go, man."
Yeah, I'm sitting here eating my salad, and he's over there with like truffles and salmon.
Smoked bourbon salmon with.
Yeah. He's using words I can't even pronounce. I'm like, did he have to spell check that? Because I don't even know what that word is.
That's right.
He could be making up words for all I know.
So let's. He probably is. Knowing Trey, yeah, he'll be hit. He knows his audience. He knows who's watching. So back to the Steve Billington fishing. We're talking on this. You started targeting bass in 23. That's when manhood hit, and you became a bass angler.
I think I became a bass angler in 2024. I don't think I admitted it till last summer.
Gotcha. You were going to go with the whole college it's a phase thing? Or?
Well, that, and I sucked so bad in 23 and most of 24. I figured if I didn't accept it until most of the way through 24, really my first season of bass fishing and competing is 25. Like, I'm basically a rookie.
Right.
Like, all that other stuff is just gone.
That's awesome. Yeah, there is that. Once you pass that rookie stage, now it's like, now what's my excuse? Now what the hell can I?
One of the trails I'm in the advanced class now because I've been there. Like, I don't qualify for the lower ones anymore. And I'm like, what am I doing in advanced?
Dude, I've spent many years coming back to the boat or coming back to the trailer going, oh no, I suck again. It happens.
It's not me, it's the fish. I always blame the lake. Yeah. Like Mark Twain Lake, I live near Mark Twain Lake. It's never me, it's that lake.
This lake sucks.
Sucks.
And then Chad Davison rolls in or does something. Get out of here, Chad.
Man, like we had an event there, I want to say it was September, and I was so determined to do well in this event. I am 5 minutes from that lake. I fished that lake almost every day for a month and caught fish every day for a month. I almost skunked out of that event.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And other guys just like tore them up. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So now I'm just done pre-fishing. I'm not pre-fishing ever again because I think I just blow my wad in practice every time. It happened to me 5 times last year where I had a winning limit in practice compared to what it ended up being on game day. I'm just done. I'm going to roll in with no clue and embrace it like I have my whole life. And see
Nice.
what I can do.
You got to find what works for you. Tournament fishing is a different animal. Someone who is successful at tournament fishing does not immediately translate to them being this, fantastic angler. What they are is a fantastic tournament angler. And they've learned how they operate best in those situations. You can go out and have great days of fishing and then try to get into a tournament and then absolutely squawk. It's like, and what is the difference? Well, the difference is, there's many things that's the difference. Number one, there's other people. Number two, there's a time crunch. Number three, there's decision making that has to come in that's got pressure associated.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a competitor, you apply pressure to yourself. I don't care who you are. That just basically is what it is. And so come tournament day, it's a different animal. And it doesn't matter if you're fishing from a float tube, a bass boat, or a kayak. Same. It's there. And so, you got to find what works for you. And there's a few guys out there that just have figured out how they operate. So maybe yours is to look at a map and go, yep, this is where I'm going. See ya.
And they're really good at adapting. Weather got me twice last year. And like Marty just said, confidence is huge. That's a big thing I'm embracing this year. Because last year, that's smart. Take your looks off. I like that.
Yep.
Last year, weather got me twice. I went out and did phenomenal in practice. Like I did top water bite all day long at Truman. Woke up the next day, weather had totally changed, and it just takes me way too long to adapt. I'll marry myself to that one thing, especially like a chatterbait. The chatterbait is my confidence all day long. I have never once doubted in any situation that I could catch a bait or catch a fish on that chatterbait doing exactly this. And to my own detriment, I will sometimes, marry myself to it. But I found more often than not, that's when I start junk fishing that I don't do as well. When I just pick up what I like or what I know and try to just go fish my own game is when I tend to do better. Yeah. So I'm just going to not overthink it this year and try to adapt if what's working yesterday and working today.
Pay attention to what that lake and what the fish are telling you. Yeah. That's a big deal. Is watch your surroundings there. And like Marty said, stick with the things that you can at least eliminate some variables that if you stick with the confidence side, because what that can do. So you can remove that from your decision making. Yeah, and find ways to woo-saw, right? To just, find some peace out there and have fun with it. That's tough.
That's usually tough. About the time. I keep an AirPod in almost all the time, and sometimes it's going and sometimes it's not. When I'm super stressed out, need to mellow out, that's when if you see both AirPods in, I've definitely got Howard Stern on, and I am definitely trying to woo-saw. I don't even want to talk to anybody. I want to hear Howard Stern and his whack pack and everything make me laugh while I try to figure out what those stupid fish are doing. Both AirPods means I'm having a bad day.
I hear you. I will throw on because my phone sits in my PFD pocket, right on the left side
Mine
there.
Too.
And I'll actually kick a little bit of music on it. If you're real light to where only I can hear it. I will sometimes do that especially if it's slow fishing. If I've got to slow down, it's like, okay, I need a little bit of something to keep my brain occupied, so I get locked into the lyrics or whatever. But everybody's just got to find what it is that works for them. Well, that's awesome stuff, dude. So, and what's the kayak you're running? What are you sailing out there?
I'm in two. I have a bona fide PWR 129. I'm in most of the time, and I have a bona fide RVR 119. Actually, that's the 119 right there in the profile picture. That is honestly my favorite picture of me fishing.
That one,
which is kind of lame to be that vain, but I love that picture.
Nice. That's a cool deal, man. You're going through some skinny water there for sure.
Yeah, just some river fishing.
Hell yeah. So yeah, folks at home, make sure to go at Steve Billington Fishing. Go check it out. Make sure to follow Steve along with that. Let's talk the big talk here. This is a thing that's taken off across the country, dude, that is hit. And it
kind of is.
Trash Panda Decals. You jumped into doing, tell us a story how it started, man. How did Trash Panda come about?
So it started out, so the big thing with this has become the identifiers. And they honestly started out as two completely different things. So I've got this creative side, and I don't know if I'm good or not, but it needs an outlet. And so in addition to the YouTube and stuff, like you can see on that kayak, that's my PWR behind me there. And that's my old wrap, if you want to call it that. And I did all the vinyl and stuff myself just because it was more cost effective for me to do it. And I started doing it for other people and really enjoyed it. So I had kind of decided over the last part of 2024 that I wanted to start Trash Panda Decals and do vinyl and make stickers and stuff like that. And like some days I would wake up and I'm like, I really want to do this. I'm driven to do it. And other days I would wake up and be like, I suck and I don't want to do that. And so it would just sit on the shelf. And what happened was, independently, I was working on identifiers. So I never say anything about anybody else's product. But what I will say is I'm not the only one making aluminum tournament identifiers. But I was looking at them because I wanted them. I was going to buy them. And from the different places I could find, nobody kind of had what I wanted. I felt like there was an opportunity for me to do something for myself better than what was available to me. So I started designing them and playing with them with no intention whatsoever of selling them. And then Trey is actually the one that was like, people will want these. These are really good, because I was making them for Trey and Christian, Noah and Adam, like, you know, just for my friends. And so I ended up just kind of being like, you know what, I'm going to put them out into the world. And the response has been incredible and has kind of redefined the direction I'm going with Trash Panda Decals. Because while I'm still going to do the vinyl and stuff, I find the most joy in this metal work, to be honest. But a couple things I wanted to do when I was making these, you'll not see on any of these. You will not see a Trash Panda decal. You won't see the Trash Panda name on any that are not my personal identifiers. I wanted these cards to be about the angler and about the trail and about their sponsors and their brand. I didn't want to promote my brand through them. I just wanted to make this card unique to them and let the word of mouth kind of drive the business, not the advertisement. So all of the cards, you won't find my advertisement on there. And it started out, I have one here. Hang on. We'll use my camo one. So it started out, there it goes, with an identifier card with a name or whatever somebody wanted on there. I'll put just about anything on there. And that was all I was going to do. And then as I got designing them, I was like, well, my leaderboard's got 2 spots. So why not have a brand card that's got the sponsors and stuff on it?
Yeah.
So then next thing I knew, I was like, okay, I'm going to offer 2 different types of cards. One with the angler's name on it, and then they can buy a set that's that card, the identifier, and this brand card if they want to. And then it was like, okay, I'm going to offer a third one that's just the identifier with no customization if they want to save a couple of bucks. And then Chad had the idea for this monstrosity. I love this thing. I got to make one for myself. This thing is 2 cards. Oops, sorry. 2 cards wide.
Wow.
And only 1 card tall. So it literally is taking the sponsor card, the identifier, and putting it all into 1 card.
That's
the way
cool.
Chad, he lays his catchboard long ways in his kayak. And so it's easier for him with that lower profile. So now I've got 4 of these things, and I'm just starting to scratch the surface. And I couldn't keep track of them anymore. Like I would tell, like it was easy, but to me it's easy. It'll be like, oh yeah, if you want a basic identifier, that one doesn't have your name. If you just want a single identifier, that one's customized. And it got convoluted. So today I renamed them all, and I made the Dink, which is this one that doesn't come with any name or anything on it. It's just your trail card.
Yep.
And then I did I'm reading them off the thing because I just did them this morning. The Backlash, which is just an identifier card with your name. And then I did the Lunker, which is the set. And then I did the Double Up, which is the big one. And so in a month, it's gone from this one idea into these. I mean, it's just growing.
That's
I can't
awesome,
believe I've
man.
got all. And then I think this is your buddy. I'm pretty sure he told me he knew you. Let that focus in there.
Trev Stuckey, heck yeah. That's,
if he's watching, he hasn't even seen this yet. He saw the mock-up, but I just printed that like right before we got on here to send out to him tomorrow.
We love some Trev. Trev is a awesome dude. That is so cool that he's got his identifier with you. I wanted to throw this up there too. This is kind of cool. You started to color in. Have you colored in any more states since you put this up?
I don't think so, but I think I need to. I think I sent one somewhere else, or I have one going somewhere else. I'm gonna have to check.
Gotcha.
I might just be thinking of Trev because it's going to Colorado, and I've already got that one colored in.
Yep. Yeah, and there's several of our TPO team guys put in for theirs to get this awesome deal that you printed up for us. We love this.
I love that thing.
Theirs, of course, won't have my name on it, thank goodness. But yeah, we left a spot in there if they wanted a name. Most of the guys didn't want a name. They just wanted to keep it just as it is, like that, which is awesome. Great for us, for the True Patriot Outfitters, and for Roman's Warrior Foundation. Just getting that name out there, and hopefully we'll be putting up some big fish, with that tag surrounding it. That's always a great deal to. That's the best time when your work is on display, right? When you get a chance to do that.
Yeah, and that was one thing I really didn't think about was I was like, because the idea to make them and sell them to other people were two separate ideas and just kind of merged together so quickly. I didn't really think about it. And then all of a sudden I was like, every time I send one of these out, I'm almost not disappointed, but like I take pictures of almost all the ones I make just because I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
And I hope that never wears on me. I hope that I don't ever get to a point where I'm like, 20 more identifiers going out. Who cares? I love what they look like and I get excited. And it occurred to me that all of this excitement's going to circle back around because the season hasn't even really kicked off yet.
Oh, yeah.
And I've sold a lot of these things. And all of a sudden, from all over the country, I'm going to see these things popping up on leaderboards.
Yeah.
And like at some point, there's going to be somebody on a Facebook group or something that posts their fish with one of my identifiers, and I'm gonna be like, I don't even know who that guy is, but I know I made that.
Right, exactly. What's up, brother Jason? Jason, probably what is today? Oh yeah, so he's on the road, almost guaranteed, unless he got called. He's a truck driver out here in Colorado, part of the TPO Pro team. So that's awesome. What do we got here from Adam? It says Trash Panda Decals made me a PB card too that I really enjoy. Yes.
Oh yeah, the angler card. That's the only one I've done so far, but I think that'll be Marty Hughes actually had talked to me about some things we could possibly do with that are exciting, especially for like kids. Shouldn't be too far down. There it is.
Yes. See, and that's
a great fish too.
We want to do this also. What I would love to be able to do is for the participants, the warfighters that we take out on our trips, if we can get them on a really good, like say first fish. Last year we took a dad and his son out. His son had never caught a fish, never been fishing, and he caught his fish. If we could capture those moments and, have the TPO call you up, man, and get a card made with a picture.
100%.
Brother, that would be amazing to be able to just concrete that, give that to the family and say, here you go. This was, trip one. Now it's time to beat that. When's the next trip that we're doing that you're going to beat that setup? So super cool. I love that.
And we can do that in an 8x10 too.
Oh man.
That's the biggest. 8x11 is the biggest I can do for now, but within a year, I would really like to be doing poster size metal prints.
Too cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I know if
there's something about a photo on metal, man. It just makes me happy.
Right? And I know of a couple guys that I would like to send them a poster size picture of me, maybe in some Daisy Dukes or something, right? Just so they could put in their shop.
Well, I thought of some different ways to taunt people too. So I'm on the team for Tactical Fishing Company, and Andrew and one of the other guys, Andrew loves sending this guy his fish when he catches them because it just irritates him. And I would love to take a poster size of Andrew with some gigantic fish and just give it to him so he can just send it to this guy and be like, you need to hang this on your wall.
In metal.
Trey's got this goose. I forgot about this stupid goose. It's going to end up spending most of the year at my house. Trey's got this fake goose. And anybody who skunks in the event in our friend circle is supposed to take care of this goose. And I would like to just take a giant picture of that goose and make whoever ranks the lowest over the course of the whole year in our group have to hang that on their wall prominently for like a year. Right. And it won't just be the goose. It's probably going to be my face. Like there's going to be something really annoying about it. People's wives are going to be like, get Steven out of my house.
Out of the bedroom right now. You can't hang that in here.
You cannot be on the bedroom ceiling.
I love it. A bet's a bet, honey. Sorry.
That's right. A bet's a bet.
Gotta honor it. Dude, this is super cool what's been happening here with Trash Panda, and the reason I'm going to say this straightforward, dude. I like seeing the good guys get the wins, man. And this is, you've done your bid, and so to see you getting this success and to seeing people like, like Marty and Trey and Adam, seeing these guys getting, supporting you the way they are and loving what you're doing. Bro, it's the more and more I kept watching you do what you were doing, I had actually already tried to get some of these made from other places and got ghosted, basically, just no conversations. So I started talking to my local guy here, and he said, not something I normally do, but I'll look at it. Yeah, we'll dig into it. But when I started seeing your work, I'm like, hey, you know what? I go to my local guy for everything else. Steve's doing this work, and I see his work. He knows exactly what we're trying to get done. So it all just came together, man. And we're super
humbling, super humbling to see all this support. And what occurred to me, the goose has to leave my house. I don't want it at my house. What really kind of caught me off guard, I don't remember who I was expressing this to the other day, but when I was looking at vinyl and everything else, it was the TFC team I was talking to. It never occurred to me that kayak anglers specifically are using other companies for this kind of stuff, not because they specialize in kayaks or fishing or anglers or what we need. They're using them because that's what's available.
Yeah.
I might very well be one of the handful of people who specializes in stuff geared to anglers in the vinyl or like metal print department.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anybody can make you vinyl, but can a guy make you vinyl that's made to be out in the sun and on a kayak and just really know the abuse that goes into these things? Because I guarantee there is nobody that's going to watch this thing that beats their kayak as much as I do. I love my kayaks, but they have no idea how much I like them because I am hard on my stuff. I will full send that thing into a typhoon if I think I can catch fish and try to dredge it off the bottom of the lake. I don't even care. So my stuff has to hold up.
Hey, man, also wanted to let you know, there's Trev himself. He did tune in with us. Steve Neal, my design today. Trev, if you watch into this, Steve-O, he's got the finished product here, man, and he punched her up here for us. Here you go. Wha-bam.
Yeah, there she is.
That's badass. I love it.
His name on there is pretty cool. I like how he did that.
Yep.
I opened that up in my emails. That's badass.
He's also got another blizzard up there. So Trev lives up basically up into the mountains a little bit. So yeah, it's he gets all that weather. We're not getting any blizzards down here in the flatlands. I'm in the metro area, so we're a distance from that. Yeah, he likes it.
That makes awesome. Me happy, man. I love that.
Yeah, it's like you said, dude, it's going to come full circle. You're going to start seeing this stuff, and there's also some huge value in what you just said, is that especially on the vinyl side, dude, just getting the vinyl to stick to kayak, materials. Yeah, so you got to know, and the beating that we put these things through. So that's there's a lot of value to that piece. Plus, dude, you're a good dude, man, and who doesn't want to help support another, a good dude? Your prices are ridiculously reasonable anyway, but even if they were more, just so I'd still stay in there. But times aren't easy on folks out there, so it's making stuff work, right?
100%. And I was never in it, man. I wish that thing would focus. I was never in it to make a huge profit to begin with. And I would like to just keep the prices where they're at. I mean, who knows what it looks like in a year, but I will always put more effort into the work than what I charge somebody for. Because ultimately, it only takes one of these things to make it out into the world and get into the right kayaker's hand and then fail them. And then the whole business is dead, and I don't want that for them. And I don't want that for me. I just want to be, like I said, I just saw an opportunity to do things different from an angler point of view. And I think I've accomplished it. It's weird because I hate everything that I do. The videos I edit, I can't stand them. I am my biggest critic, and I did my own fishing jersey about a week ago, and people tell me it looks good. I look at it and I see the imperfections and where I messed up, and I'm like, I need to do it again. So I'm my biggest critic, but the community has been fantastic, and the amount of support I've received is just overwhelmingly humbling. Like I don't even know how to express. I never expected to get the attention that I'm getting in a year from now, let alone so quickly.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool, and I love seeing, like I said, I like seeing when the good guys get the wins, and that is definitely the situation we got. The kayak community, fishing community as a whole, but kayak more importantly, and most I think it demonstrates it, is it weeds out the non-packers, right? The guys, that are here for the wrong maybe motivations, they don't last long. So when you find people that are good people that can, like you and I spoke about, communication's everything. We've got there's a company out there right now that it hasn't even really started the season, and they got this bait that this poor guy can't keep up with. He's selling so many of these.
The Brigade Blade.
He is doing everything he can though to communicate with people and keep letting people know what's going on. And I think that's where, hey man, just keep doing you, and people will stay with you. I personally, because I'm one of the old guys, I'm sitting here laughing, going, there ain't been a tournament 1-1 on this thing yet. We don't even know yet. Yes, it looks cool.
There's about to be. There's
maybe
about to be on the 15th. See. I got a couple of those things here at the house.
We'll see. I'm an old skeptic, dude. I love it. I would have ordered some myself if they were available, just to test them out. But I think it's pretty wild what anglers do. So my view on that is relax, y'all. Give the man time to keep making his stuff, and you'll get your bait eventually. But chill out a little bit.
I keep telling people this is fishing's Tickle Me Elmo. Like, we are at war for these things. Like, when he says it's coming out, I'm right there, man. And I don't go crazy trying to get different colors. I pick one color of what's going to be available, and I'm on it because
right.
I just really need him. Go Bucks! I love that. I really need him to upload a green chart. Right. I love the white ones I got. I've already lost one of those things. I have already broken off. And my friend Christian was like, "How's it make you feel that thousands of people can't get this bait, but you're just out here breaking them off?" And I said, "Well, let me tell you, I got in the water and tried to get that thing back, and I couldn't find it. I tried. I am a Tampa Bay fan.
All right. Well,
I love the Bucks.
I've been neither here nor there on the Bucks, but I did love watching what the Bucks did when Brady came to town. That was an awesome story to watch. We got Adam says he's ready for Battle Baby. That means he's got his, and then also Trev. He's been with Battle Baits for over 8 years now. Flint's a great dude, and he has his for sure. That's awesome. That is so
Flint,
cool.
I don't know Flint. He's friends with Andrew from Tactical Fishing Company, and Andrew says the same thing about him.
Yep.
And Andrew's good people. That's somebody you need to get on here. Is Andrew?
We've been in talks. Yeah, he's with Tactical, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We've been in talks. He's been super busy himself, and so we gotta get the schedule put back together and try to get him. I've been trying to really target and double down on our veteran-owned organizations out there and try to get them on, and just get a chance to chat with them. This is a tough time of year for them, just because everybody's stocking up. And so, we want to respect that and not worry too much. Plus, it's getting towards the end of podcast season for me, which it's a bittersweet thing. I'm glad that I'm actually going to be able to spend some time outdoors, coming pretty soon, and actually get fishing because I need my therapy desperately.
Same.
So, oh man, yeah, it's I don't mind. I mean, that's part of the game of owning this MPO and doing what we're doing. You got to be, you got to get your admin time. You got to do this. But in the same breath, sure would be cool, though. It'd be a lot cooler if I could get out there and fish a little bit during the week just to clear that brain a little bit. But every time
my main job is only 3 days a week, so I get a lot of free time to fish. And I told my friends, I'm like, if I ever tell you, hey, I can't go fishing today because I'm printing identifiers, I need you to smack me real hard and tell me to go mark that stuff out of stock and go fishing and take a break. Because stuff like that, it can overtake you if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Real quick.
And you don't want to lose the love, right? That's the thing, is keep the passion, keep the love for it. So if it ever gets to a point where it's too grindy, you gotta figure things out here. What do we got? Trev says Flint's a ex-police officer as well. Totally down for the show. Yes.
No, Flint doesn't have time. He needs to make my brigade blades.
Right. Flint's busy with brigade. I've been watching his videos. Yeah, he's a busy dude.
That dude must be so tired. And what's funny is you see people in the comments and they'll be like, why are you advertising something you don't have? And he's like, well, I just dropped, 200 of them last night. And he's like, but I can't buy any. And it's like, that dude, if he woke up today and made 500 baits, it wouldn't be enough. So as much as you love it, on some level, I imagine he's got to feel like he can't keep up. But man, if you're watching this, just know we love your product, and just
Yeah.
take your time and keep doing what you're doing. We're going to be here to buy them, just like Tickle Me Elmo, every time you put them up.
And this is one of the hardest things to tell business owners, but take it from an old guy who's been around the block. Train someone to help you. I know you got help in certain areas. You've been talking about that, but you don't ever want a business to have limitations of a singular person, right? And so, that would be the help, because it looks like he's found himself some gold here. So yeah, and I know that's so easier said than done too. I'm not saying he's not. I love it. I love seeing him slammed like this, and I can't wait to get mine whenever the time comes. I'll wait till everybody else burns them out, and
and the fish don't want them anymore, and then
that's what they'll think.
And then here you come.
The fish will want them, but enough guys will go up there and screw up a little bit, on their own. It'll calm down to where there'll be some in stock, and I'll get my order in, and we'll go from there. But yeah,
Adam's not wrong. He said if you put Flint on here, he's gonna get hounded by people saying make more bait.
Oh yeah, totally.
That's gonna be the comments all day. Get off the podcast and go make more brigade.
Right? There would be those people. Why are you doing a podcast? Why are you Yeah, we would have to deal with them.
I think he made that originally, if I remember correctly, like for his kids.
That's awesome.
Who were fishing, and then it just became a thing. And now, like you said, everybody's talking about those things. Everybody, having thrown a brigade blade, I will say, I really like that thing. I like that it comes through the water. As a guy who loves chatterbaits and will rarely pick up like a spinner bait because it's not a chatterbait, this thing's the best of both worlds. And I'm going to try really hard not to lose the couple that I have, because I lose sleep at night thinking about that one, and I'm gonna try and find it again.
First low water you get, yeah.
Yeah, there's like a 15-foot drop right on the edge where I lost it, and when the line broke, I think it just drifted down. And at some point, I'm coming for it. I was down there digging in the mud.
I got my PSD now. got my PADI certification. I'm going for it.
For my brigade blade.
That's right. Well, that's awesome stuff, folks. Make sure you're following at Trash Panda Decals, exactly how it sounds and spells out, at Trash Panda Decals. Check these things out. They are super awesome. The quality is fantastic. Steve, you are ridiculously easy to work with. And that's a huge deal. When you want something customized or whatever, Steve's got you covered, man. And it's communication is everything. So hopefully we'll get to the point where you're like, Gino, I can't come back on the podcast because I got too many tags to make.
If that happens, I'm doing the wrong thing.
That's when you talk to the fiance. This is how we make them.
Right? I had a dream not long ago that I was super busy, and she was like helping me make them or something. Then I woke up and I'm like, I will never do that to her. That poor woman suffers with me enough.
Right. I try to involve my wife in a lot of conversations, and she's so awesome at going, I got a new box today from Strike King, and I was showing her some colors. She's like, wow.
I have the most supportive fiance when it comes to like fishing and stuff. She collaborated with Trey. Not last Christmas, the Christmas before, my stocking was completely filled with Berkeley slobber knockers. And it's because she got a hold of Trey and was like, what should I get him? And he knows I'm a fiend for those Berkeley slobber knockers.
That's awesome.
That's what it was. The minigun he made for his kids. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, the minigun. Yeah, that thing looks super slick too.
There's about to be a run on those, I think.
There's 3 bait companies that have caused us to actually we're realigning on a personal side some of the sponsorship work that we're doing this year, going forward after many years. And I've never been a sponsor hound, but the ability to be able to get free about using certain baits is a big deal to me. And so I actually had to make a hard choice with a few organizations that were and rightfully so, they wanted to lock me in with using just this, and or at least publicly saying I only use this, and I didn't want to do that. But Jake's Lure Joint, Jake Schroeder, love him to death. Tactical, those him as well. I've ordered some of those, and then watching Battle Baits doing the work he's doing. Those 3 guys have really just caught my attention, and I may or may not have small boxes that have shown up to the house of just some stuff we're going to test out, man, and we're going to see before we start plugging big orders in. We're going to give them a whirl and see what we can do with them.
Did you happen to get some of the MREs from Tactical Fishing? That thing will do anything.
That I may have ordered a little bit more than a test buy on, because I already know what I need to know there. So yes.
I have my own inventory of those in the garage. Yeah. So, and I'm on the team. Andrew makes no like requirement. Like I'm not locked in, whatever. I can tell you the only plastics I'm throwing for 2025 is Tactical Fishing Company, because the care he puts into them, but they just work.
Yeah.
And they're so cost effective. Like, and God, those MREs, man, especially on chatterbaits, spinnerbaits. I put that thing on a jig and caught my PB Smalley. They're just, he makes good stuff, and he truly just cares. He's just a good dude. It'd be cool to see you guys talk. I hope that works out.
Yeah, we're, as long as we can, I mean, like I said, we use a variety of different things. I mean, I've got some Berkeley stuff. I've got some, different things, because for different applications, I have my personal preferences. Mm-hmm. So one of the reasons I love Eagle Claw so much is Eagle Claw is about, hey, this is what we're using, but, you do you, and we're more concerned with, you just being good with representing when you're out there. For me, on the terminal
That's
side,
the way it should be.
It's easy peasy. Yeah, Eric Ali is amazing. Eagle Claw, the Wright and McGill organization, they're legendary. Love them to death. They do things the way I wish more people would do, and hopefully they'll see that. Hey, guess what? You're struggling. These guys aren't. They're still here. Take a page out of their book, right? So.
Well, and if you lock yourself into something exclusive, or you give a company the rights to own or dictate your content, you're not just doing yourself a disservice, it's your audience.
Yeah.
Like I'm just a regular dude. So when I'm out there on the water, if somebody takes the time to click on one of my videos and give me that 20, 30 minutes of their life, I'm not going to give them rah BS.
Yep.
I'm just going to be like, this is what I'm using. This is why I'm using it, and it's working.
Yeah.
So if you're locked in with X company and it's not working that day, and you're using Y's product but not talking about it because you're locked in with X, well, you're just lying.
Yeah.
So I would never get into something where somebody owned my content or I was exclusive. Everything's just got to be genuine. This is the way it's supposed to be. This is just fishing.
Right. Exactly. It doesn't need to get overly too complicated, and none of us are in that upper 1%. None of our names rhyme with Van Dam or Iaconelli, and we should.
I don't think my name rhymes with anything.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Wellington, maybe. Like this, is that a steak?
Wellington, yeah.
That's about all I rhyme with. Of course, I think of food. That's why my neck looks like that.
We got something here in Three Chins Fishing. We should look into it, dude. That could be. I'm gonna have to go check that name out and see if anybody's got it yet.
Who can get us the rights to Peter Griffin for the logo?
Right? Exactly. Well, listen, brother, I can't thank you enough for taking the time here.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
This has been a great crowd. Love all you guys tuning in to us here and commenting on the show here. This is always super cool. It's, any way to reach more folks, talk, and support the awesome businesses out there, dude. So folks at home, make sure, two things I want you to do. Go out to @Steve Billington Fishing. Go give that a follow and a like. Facebook, Instagram, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And YouTube
if they're so motivated, yeah.
YouTube, smash that subscribe button. You hear that from me all the time. Yes, that's a huge help. And then, of course, @Trash Panda Decals. Same. You don't have a YouTube for that one yet.
No.
Okay.
I don't know. 3 YouTubes might be too much.
Yeah, probably so.
2 YouTubes feels like sometimes when I'm bouncing between the different profiles, I'm just like, I get so confused. I'm like, what am I on again? Sometimes I post the wrong thing to the wrong social, and I'm like, come on, Steve, man, wake up. Yep.
I'm with you. I thought several times I was putting stuff just on on my personal one, and next thing I know, it's on the TPO page. I'm like, no, I'm not supposed to be doing that.
You're like, delete.
Exactly. But I've done it from Instagram over, so I have to go to both locations to take it down. Yeah.
I have that off because it's so convenient, but I cannot be trusted with multiple platform dispersal. I am not that good.
Yep. Yeah, sometimes we can outsmart ourselves for sure. Well, this is awesome, dude. I'm looking forward to having you back on here and
for sure,
and chatting with you
talk
about
immigration.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually, I'll tell you this. I've actually been considering doing a spin-off podcast, something different. It'll be a TPO Productions, of course, but still with the Heroes Media Group, but just talking about some topics that mean something to the veteran and first responder communities. When you've got a group of people that have dedicated their life to serving others to protect these freedoms, these certain topics come up, right? And they mean something to these folks. And so being able to talk about them a little bit and discuss and maybe, throw some opinions around, that could be a ton of fun, and seeing, I'm a huge proponent that we don't have to agree to have respect and love for each other, man. My wife and I don't
forgetting that.
They are. And it's
sad.
It's sad. It's ridiculous that, my wife and I, we don't like the same foods. We don't like the same things. And I would take a bullet square in my forehead for that woman. I love her to death. And she is hands down the person I respect the most on this planet is her.
Same.
And we don't have to agree on everything. We can do that as friends too. And as society, at the end of the day, I think we all want the same, right?
100%.
So
everybody just wants to be happy and loved and go fishing. I mean, everybody likes fishing, right?
Right. We got an agreement there with Jason. So yeah, we should talk, dude, because I have a feeling you and I we could do some van damage on a couple things out there on some podcasts. That would be a lot of fun.
It'd be entertaining,
right? The Three Chins podcast.
Hey, if we're gonna have Three Chins, can we get Trey in here too? Like, we'll call him a chin. That means overweight. We need to spread one of the three chins onto somebody else.
We need an additional
1.5 each.
Right? That's not cool, man.
The math don't math. Not in a favorable way.
I love it, dude. I love it. Well, thank you, brother, so very much. Your best to all your family there. Keep business rolling. And we'll be looking forward to chatting with you again and having you back on the show soon.
I appreciate it, man. It's been fun.
Hang on, Trey's giving us squinty eyes. He doesn't want to be a chin.
I get those eyes from him a lot. That emoji looks like it has a chin, though.
The emoji has a chin, for sure. All right, brother, you take care, man.
You too, man. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll see you soon.
See you, man. Have a good night.
All right, folks, go check him out. Trash Panda Decals, Steve Billington Fishing. Go make sure to give the man a follow. One of the, as you just noticed, if you've been here with us, one of the good dudes out there, man. One of the people that's making a difference on the right reason, just fishing, man. And those are the people we love to support and see have this success. The decals are tight, man. I can't wait to get these things out. I can't wait to get them to the team. Several of our team guys. Hey, if you're out there also in this land, make sure stop by YouTube for us if you don't mind at the True Patriot Outfitters and smash a subscribe on that. Tell your friends about us. Share that. That would be super, super cool too. That channel there, we're trying to we're building it nice, slow, and steady. We'd like to just keep that thing rolling, man. That helps us out quite a bit for the True Patriot Outfitters. Stick with us next week. Our episode that we're going to have next Tuesday. Actually, we got a special episode dropping this Thursday. We got Joseph Tax from Team New Canoe. So that'll be going off Thursday night. That's super cool. And then next Tuesday, don't want to miss this one. What I've gone through, we got all but one. One guy had a scheduling conflict, but what we did is we found everybody that had snatched up wins or had from last year's Colorado Kayak Bassmasters Series. Everybody that got a win got an invite, and along with a couple other hammers we brought in. We're going to talk about getting down in the weeds about tournament prep, about tournament day decisions, about choices of how to do map study, how they use their electronics, how they use their equipment. We're going to dig in deep, and these guys are going to share juice. They're going to share as much as they're willing to share with us. When it comes to certain things, we'll talk about how they got their wins on these certain things and what they attribute those to. We're going to get down in the weeds on the fishing gig next Tuesday night, so you don't want to miss this. We're going to have a full house in here, just straight awesome hammers across the board that are going to be joining us in the show, and it's going to be a heck of a good time. But don't miss this Thursday special edition. It is a pre-recorded show. So if you're trying to talk to me on Thursday, I'm not there. It's a pre-recorded show that's going off. But it was a great interview with Joseph Tax. That's a California hammer that's out there with Team New Canoe. You don't want to miss that. He's got some cool info about California fishing out there. So check that out. All right, folks, that's it. We're done. We're spent. As always, tight lines. Be safe.